So we're going to take a look here, some thoughts I have on this most recent AI patch. I'm not exactly entirely sure what it's supposed to do. My understanding is it's supposed to make the AI less timid, more sensible, and to favor major factions over minor. I just want to show, we're going to click through here. We just defeated Here we go. Just defeated this Nurgle faction here. We got the short victory. If you've watched any of my stuff, you know that's usually where I quit, is at a short victory. And what's remarkable here is, look down in the corner here, it's at 30 turns, which is really kind of ridiculous. My hope for the patch was that it would make more of a challenge, particularly in strong factions. I think Wissenland is a laughably strong faction, and I was looking for some more challenge from the Chaos Forces, from Vlad perhaps, and I did go to war with a lot of them. If we go look in here, if we do this, what do we want? We want we got Conquest, okay. If we come back to the beginning, okay, we start this up. Okay, you can see you take your first areas in here, spreading out. I'm going to use the usual. What's this us? Yeah, this is, which one is us? I'm never sure which one is us. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go in and take these orcs out down here. And this whole time is pretty normal. Nothing unusual going on. And then I'm going to go to war with Vlad over here, and it's going to take, you know, a couple of turns to defeat him. And then this new guy down here, Gorbad, he goes to war with me. I do go ahead and I pick on Draken for a while. I confederated Stirland, I guess, and then sold off the assets to get alliances. Now remember, when you do that confederation, that counts as taking over territory. So we're on turn 11. I've confederated them. Okay, so now we're over here and we're taking over Vlad's territory and selling off some of it to Averland and to Franz. Progressing pretty normally. I did not befriend these guys in case I had to kick them out. Sometimes they'll jump on Vlad and you have to kick him out of the Empire territories. And then I just go to war with Draken. So I went to war with Vlad, with Gorbag, with Draken, with, is there Festus up here? None of them proposed much of a problem. Hang on a sec. At some point we're at war with Kemmler over here too, because he declared war. So we're at war with 4 of 5 major factions. And we just continue to take all the territory. We confederated Talabek land. That was a huge chunk. And then sold some assets off to Franz to let him develop them. And then we move on here to where we confederate Averland in here. And we've started to push back down here against Gorbad. So it was just easy. And like I say, it was only 30 turns. If we take a look in here. So this is my geeky man spreadsheet of my Warhammer wins. The previous best I'd had was also with Elspeth. That was 35 turns. That was last summer. And this one was only 30 turns. I mean, 30 turns on Legendary to win a campaign smack in the middle of the Empire with 5 major enemies defeated. That's just laughable. So, I think there's a lot needs to be done. You know, I did try the SFO, I did try to do some of the mods that would make things more difficult, and they just don't make it more difficult. If you're using a massively powerful faction like Wissenland, and you can crush these things in pretty short order, 30 turns is a laugh. In Warhammer 2, you'll remember, you spent the first 30 turns on a sack city leveling up your leaders so that you would have some chance of survival. And even that, you know, that was ridiculous for its own reason. Now, if we look look at my forces, I'm not overwhelmingly powerful. I mean, this guy here, he's got one amethyst unit, and this unit here. I've got a good set of heroes. If we go find, where's she? Elspeth. She only has 2 amethyst units in here. So it's not like I've been abusing the amethyst units, which is stupidly powerful. So I don't think this AI is working at this end of the game. Maybe it makes the late game more difficult, but if this game goes on another 30 turns, I'm going to have stacks of amethyst units everywhere. I'm going to go for this pretty soon. I'm about to abuse this thing here, where I can start getting a bunch of battle wizards that I'm going to use to boost my research, which is already 141, and I'm just going to storm through all this. So I think the vanilla game itself needs some serious help. I think this is a great first step. They're trying to address the AI, but it hasn't solved my particular personal problem, and that is that the game is far too easy on Legendary for powerful factions. Now granted, there are factions for whom the game is a struggle. I'm going back in here. Some factions where I've taken a while. Look, 70-something turns it took me to win with Orion back in January. So that was quite a few turns. This 83 turns to win with the Sisters. That's me jacking around. And Boris takes a significant amount of time. And I'm not saying all the factions should be equally difficult. What I'm saying is that for powerful factions, I'd like a bit more of a challenge for her and for Gelt, which are stupidly powerful, right? So hopefully this is the progress towards making the game a little more difficult. Space Marine 2 just added another layer of difficulty, so perhaps they could do a little more of that. Perhaps they could make a little bit of a compromise between what the Warhammer 2 experience was like, the enemy had, 5 full stacks of units on turn 10, and you had to ambush your way to safety. There's got to be some kind of compromise, and hopefully they're on their way to finding that. In the meantime, some of the factions remain outlandishly simple to use.